Hi friends, I wanted to talk to you about for some time about a favorite book and how it is connected or in direct relationship and directly impacting our present days current times events such as the election of the United States, which are mentioned here. Now why am I making this video? Because about the revelations of John, I've been searching and seeing many videos with explanations and many descriptions of it, and a lot of them do want us to believe that we are not in those times because they did not have um, the capacity to see the signs, to understand, to unpuzzle the archaic language that is used in the Bible. After all, it has been written in times where they did have other reference points, actually really basic life, closer to nature reference points than we have now. Okay, but the descriptions are absolutely accurate. And thank you for following me right now. I have to say, it's beautiful to be also watched on so many channels by you guys. Okay, so I'm not going to go to the beginning of the revelations, and I am going to try to just give minor indications as to how you can translate and unpuzzle this for yourself, which is more relevant because the more of us understand more details. For example, there would be some that for me I don't get it what the 4 and 20 elders could be. Is it states? Is it countries? Is it what is it? One other thing I want to mention is that the establishment, which is the absolute think themselves to be the absolute most top of directives and management of the planet. Well, they follow this to the letter. It is understandable why they want to follow it to the letter, because as they manage to change something, all other things change as well, and the uncertainty that would come upon them then would be something that they would not be safely feel safe or able to cope with or manage. So really understandable. Well, we have, first of all, we have Christ. Now, what is Christ besides the enlightened masters? What is Christ? Because there are references to people, there are references to precise locations, and there are references to where things emerge from in our bodies. So the Christ is also known at large, at least at large, by the spinal fluid. It had this name widely for a long time, and now few people know, but not so few. It's a it's a majority, I would say. So fine. The Christ is the ascension of these certain fluids, their proper flow and function through the body, where in a big number of the population this has been stopped. And the reason why they've decided to call themselves monarchy is because they chose to govern population, or keep control by these sections of our bodies, um, mainly the section of the skull that has the shape of a monarch butterfly. If you look, and you can even Google this, you can Google it in these exact words. You will still find it. I don't keep my memory these medical terms for it, but that's fine. You will find it even if you look for monarchic butterfly skull. Um, and also the pineal gland. Everyone has seen the royals and the Vatican in using these symbols extensively, especially the pine cone, which is in the exact shape of a pineal gland. So that is Christ when it is being referred here, and the lamb is being we can understand by the lamb that references to the Christ also, and we can understand even more. So I will give you brief example. If we go to the chapter 4 in John's Revelations, it said, after this looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as it were a trumpet talking with me. Okay. Which said, come up higher hither, and I will show these things which must be thereafter. And okay, revelations are revelations are the revealing of a certain something, the showing of, the unmasking, clarity over all things. And this John had the capacity to go into a deep trance, or a meditative state, or profound contemplation, or get into the higher realms or the heavens, or call them as you like. But he went into a higher state of consciousness instantaneously, as it said in the second verse. And immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne in sight, like unto an emerald. Well, now, either this is a reference to a smart TV or a smartphone, and this will become even more obvious in the later following verses. And round about the throne were 24 seats, and upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold. Um, of this, I am unsure of what it can be. 4 and 20. Can it be states? Can it be heads of states? Can it be. Okay. And out of the throne proceeded um, lightnings and thunderings and voices, and there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. Now, this number 7 we already know is considered and shown as divine in the Bible, and we do have the 7 days of the week, as in those times was considered the 7 planets. And we do have the 7 chakras, are 7 major energy generating spots in our bodies, known as chakras or whatever you like to call them. Okay. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto a crystal. And in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. Now, if this is not a reference as to a mass of smartphones, I really don't know what it is. And it follows. Sea of glass. And the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast like a calf, and the third beast had the face of a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. Now, this to me represents that is a means, a titanic means of communicating or getting consciousnesses together, getting putting ideas together, which is communication after all, from all corners of the world in each part of the world. And it may be a reference also to I don't know, some royal or leaders' blazons or crests. I am unsure. And the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about him, and they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, saying, Holy, holy, holy Lord, God Almighty, which was and is to come. And when those beasts gave glory and honor and thanks to him that sat on the throne, who liveth forever and ever and ever, the 24 elders fell down before him that sat on the throne, and worship him that liveth forever and ever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, You are worthy. It's a book from the 1700s, so it's written quite in that language. So I'm translating from English to English as well. You are worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for you have created all things, and for your pleasure they are and were created. At the same time, because I know when I do my meditations, or I have these experiences, or when I have mind read, or when I'm in the higher realms, let's say, things are like in a dream. Exactly, they're more like in a dream than they are in reality, even though the image looks perhaps even realer than anything we've seen with the external eyes. Then I think John couldn't have missed to also put in wording his experience from seeing our world at the largest picture, and then as we see he's zooming in on some events, and even um, even though they seem unrelated, th- you can find you can merge them uh, into or edit them in your mind, if you like, into a storyline, okay? And it was the right hand of him that sat on the throne, a book written within, and on the backside sealed with 7 seals. And I saw strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof?" And no man in heaven, nor on earth, neither under the earth, which I believe it's a reference to the inner earth here, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. Well, what happened? And again, why is this book relevant? Is because the postal system, which at one time was the only system that mattered, has been taken over by the title of Postmaster of the world, has been taken over in, I forgot the date, but never mind. By the King of England. Okay, so I don't want to be mistaken, but might have been 1700, but I don't want to be mistaken. So what these guys did, well, of course, they had the Vatican had the Inquisition, which was sending their armies for hundreds of years. Via the Inquisition, they were sending their armies to convince or force population to give in their goods for safekeeping. So they were taking everyone's gold, everyone's everything. In return, they were giving a promise that everything will be kept safe for them. So this way, the Vatican became the manager of wealth across Earth. And then this king, I'm not sure if it was Edward or Leopold or whoever, this king took the title of Postmaster. How did he do that? He had to compromise. With the U.S. By signing the Constitution. Well, all of these, the postal system is written in agreement with the Bible, okay? And the language is not dissimilar. Also, the financial system, the postal system is a miniature of the financial system, or the financial system is an extension of the postal system, okay? And they are implicit. They can exist separate, but the financial system will need to be remade from scratch, which is titanic to do, in order to separate it from the postal system. Well, this king's contract with US has expired in 1999, and ever since there has been one man that decided to take that responsibility upon himself and to become the Postmaster of the world, which is right now recognized by some and unknown to others. However, if we are to look across the world at the head governing institutions, we will see they've put out the flag that designates martial law. So we are under martial law, which is why many feel entitled to do anything possible under the sun or not to maintain their illusion of power, because all of the power that they have is the one we choose to give. And the reference here is with the book closed with the seven seals. There is such a thing as the paper bull, the red paper bull, which is a contract kept by the Vatican, and well, they think they have a contract with us by that, and they think that they own us because from the 1960s backed currency, the currency was not backed by gold anymore, and then they've decided to back the currency with people's birth certificates, and to be more precise, and by this means they believe that they own our souls also, and their understanding of souls is tragic. Okay, so then this is a reference to that paper ball that is indeed closed with seven seals, and no one could open this book. Well, of course, of course, this entire backing of the currency with our birth certificates has been something put together at that time over, I'm not sure if it's 40 or 60 years, and well, it was done extremely short, like in 3 years, but the refined details of it, okay? There were 70 barristers working on this. Now, one would have to outsmart all of those in logistics, and know that terminology, which, for example, you can surely see that I am not English. For me, some words, and even for people that are English, some words we may think they mean something while they mean a completely different thing that we would not even conceive of unless we collaborate and share. And then this happened where people have unsealed those seals, and people have taken their right of title over their goods, over their soul, and those people are multimillionaires in the hundreds of millions right now. So the process is actually has a name. It's called redemption process, and it's also mentioned here in the Revelation as with the same terminology, redemption, okay? And it's something that we all ought to do, to come out of, to take our goods out of their hands, because what we are doing is we are also allowing this, which is maybe we can't see it as this, but it is in reality a tremendous stress for someone to manage your goods. And why? Why should that be? Unless they thought it's a good idea, which we can see where we are now and how good of an idea it was after all. And it's perhaps a good individual responsibility to look into that if you have not already. And so I'd like to close this. I wouldn't want to make a huge video because I'm not recording live. It's on my phone, and the upload is really lengthy. So, but I'd like to add a few things. There is a mention of an asteroid that falls from the sky, and it taints a third of the waters and a third of the population dies. Well, what we have nowadays by some efforts, we have the chemtrails, and whatever is being used there, which is mostly heavy metals, does get into the water, does get onto the foods that we eat, and so on. And indeed, more than a third of the population is unwell from that. So perhaps we'd like to look into heavy metal chelation more than anything, and particularly right now. There are the 7 seals, the 7 vials, and the 7 trumpets, which are 21 challenges to the world to go through, and we can all see them right now. We can all see them right now, and we can find, perhaps I'm going to, or not, come back with with if you'd like to listen more on this, by the way, leave a comment, ask me anything, and if there is something that I haven't mentioned from this chapter up to I was reading now, yeah, I'm curious to know what you think. If you maybe you think more for sure than myself, so why not? There are many references to things that are true actuality, only that they're described with their reference points. So, for example, scorpions, beasts that look like scorpions, black scorpions, and with wings, and 4 arrows in their tails. So what is that but a helicopter? So everything is, if we think a little bit and don't just read quickly, which I'm very tempted, but if we just read and contemplate and associate, try to understand what they have seen exactly, we do find that we are in the tribulations times, and we are actually just before the end of the tribulations times. And I don't understand how people can say that we are not. Perhaps I've looked more into current events. Perhaps those videos are dated. I don't know. But as it stands for now, we are somewhere in the Revelations of John. John, where are you? Okay, the Revelations of John, we are somewhere at the chapter. Mm. Okay, perhaps I'll write it somewhere. There's too much to read, and yeah. So just to keep this under half an hour, I hope you have enjoyed this. If you have some questions or if you want to add something, please do feel welcome to do so. And I hope you have a great week ahead. Bye for now.